yearly tax exempt application hearing. It's May 6, 2024. The time is 2:01 p.m. I'm calling this meeting to order. In attendance are Commissioners Matari and Duncan, and Commissioner Brooks is excused. Are there any changes to the agenda? All right, hearing none. Introductions, we have staff in the audience from the Assessor's Office and from the BOCC, and of course, we're the Board of Commissioners. And anyone here in the audience going to give testimony today will need to raise their right hand and get the oath from the clerk.
Do you solemnly swear that the evidence you shall give in the issue pending before the Board of County Commissioners shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
All right. With that, I'll call for public comment. Hearing none, we'll get right down to our item 1, and this is an exemption application for AIN 345585, and this is Open Arms Clinic. Is there anyone here from Open Arms Clinic or on the line? All right. So, because we do this once a year, we'll get started. Terry, did you want to add anything, or is it just we just discuss?
No, I have nothing to add. You have the assessor's review and legal review, and so it should be good to go.
Okay, so thoughts or questions on this one?
I just want to, I don't think we did this last year. I don't recall. And I just want to confirm that all these properties are in fact owned by the nonprofits. Is that correct?
I guess it's a question for the assessor's office. Did you guys?
This particular property or all of the properties in the back?
Well, some of them, it sounds like they're owned, but maybe as a whole.
Bruce Destin, Chief Deputy Assessor for the record. In our review, we, in any case where we had transfer history, mentioned the transfer history. So you'll have the last transfer date that we have as record, and who owns it as part of that record. Should be a part of all of the reviews that we put together.
So for my part, Commissioner, for the board and the audience too, when I review these, I have the assessor's evaluation in there, and it almost always includes, and if it doesn't, I do my own research to determine whether or not the entity actually owns the property and whether or not they're required to own the property. And in some cases, they're not if it's for educational purposes, but that is part of the analysis that I do, and it's included in every opinion that I write, so you have all those in your packet.
Yep.
So for every property, I've done a legal review of the ownership, because ownership is required for most of the properties. So it's all in there.
Okay.
So maybe we didn't have any, Terry, that were brand new last year? That seems odd. Did we not go through this last year?
We did? Yeah, I just
Okay.
don't recall it. But it's once a year, so
Yes.
yeah, it could have been a couple. Yeah.
And some years are more traumatic than others.
Yeah, no, I have no questions.
Okay, then I would take a motion for this one, unless, Dave, do we need to put anything on the record?
You know, in the past, prior boards have kind of done different things, and some boards have read different facts into the record. I guess what I can say is you have your legal opinions that I've written, which, you know, I'm going to recommend you keep those privileged. It's not really required to read anything into the record. I guess what I'll represent is the legal opinions have the analysis of whether or not the properties meet the legal standard for an exemption. And then it's up to the board if you want to ask questions, or you have questions to ask of the particular property owners, or it's not clear whether or not the property might qualify, then you should do some more investigation, I guess I would recommend. But for, I think, every property here this year, my opinion includes a recommendation. So, you know, unless you have questions, and I think there's some property owners or representatives in the audience for some of the properties who really have questions. For most of these properties, I think you can, I'd say it's probably enough to just rely on my review, but I don't want you to think I'm trying to substitute my opinion for what the board's decision should be.
So for this one, I can say that the information presented and the department's review would qualify it for exemption. And I would take a motion.
I move that we approve the exemption application for AIN 345585 Open Arms Clinic.
Second.
Aye.
Aye. There'll be ones that I will have questions and stuff to discuss. So item 2, exemption application, AIN 124639, and this is St. Matthew's Evangelical Lutheran Church. Again, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. The information provided and the department review indicates that this does qualify for exemption.
I agree.
Okay.
I move that we approve exemption application AIN 124639, St. Matthew's Evangelical Lutheran Church.
Second.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, item 3, exemption application AIN 349602 Prairie Water Association. And then this one, I just wanted a confirmation that there was no residence on that property.
Because they can't use the water for personal or residential use. It's only for irrigation, correct? For agricultural purposes or?
Oh, you're here. That's, Finn,
Yeah, why don't you
come on up to a table and, yeah, and all you do is push that little button and it'll turn green. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Dwayne Tufte. I'm the Secretary Treasurer for the Prairie Water Association. And as the irrigation districts are set up in the state of Idaho, it's for domestic and livestock use and irrigation. And so our Small Water Association, which has been in effect since 1978, but the well was located on John Corbin property, which was purchased by 208 Corbin LLC, and it's a housing development now. So they gave us a quit claim deed last summer, and I've got a well with a little house on it, storage tank and pumps, and they provide now water to 15 different 5-acre properties. And that's to irrigate the property, but it also does provide domestic water to the homes.
Okay, but on this particular property, is there a home?
No, there is not. This is
Gotcha.
a blank lot, fenced in, one well house, one pump house, one storage tank.
Perfect. I think that was my only
And
question.
in the package, I provided an overhead aerial view of the property. So there's houses all around me now, but nothing on that.
Okay. Question?
Okay, so and this is for my clarification. So as long as there's not a residence for personal use or domestic use on that particular lot, it's fine what they do with the water at that point.
Yeah, we actually had a discussion about this one with our commercial appraisal team. Because when we came across it, it pops up. We have it classified as a shed. And that's just because trying to value these items, they're almost always exempt anyway. And trying to get a true value for the water tanks, the pumping systems, everything that goes into the ground, takes a lot of work. And at the end of the day, it's almost always a exempt entity. So we put them under shed. It's just kind of a placeholder for a lot of these pump houses, so we don't have to do a huge amount of appraisal work for something that's not actually generating net taxable value.
Understood. I have no other questions. You want a motion?
Please.
I move that we approve the exemption application AIN 349602 Prairie Water Association.
Second.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you. I have one question. Going forward, is there an annual paperwork that I must submit for this
Yes, you'll have to submit an affidavit by April 15th every year.
every year?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You bet. Thank you. All right, item 4, exemption application, AIN 339077, and this is Heritage Baptist Church. I think that all the information submitted and the department's weighing in on this makes it for granting this application.
I would agree. I move that we approve the exemption application for AIN 339077 Heritage Baptist Church.
Second.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, item 5, exemption application, AIN 106147 and 143280, Heart of the City Church. So I think this one we have, one of them does meet the qualifications, and then the second one does not. So was there anything else that you saw in the information submitted?
No. No.
Okay. So, I just want to make sure that I'm not missing anything here.
So are they planning on changing the use of this property?
I think eventually,
Just not now?
right, and I believe, and Dave can correct, but it actually has to be in use. It can't necessarily be for future use. It has to be in use
Yep.
for the exemption to apply.
Yeah, that's correct. A property needs to be owned and actually used by a charitable entity or religious entity, used towards the charitable purpose. So if
Okay.
it's not actually used towards a charitable purpose, it would not qualify.
Okay, and then schools are a little bit different, but
Schools are different.
We'll get to that later. Okay, so then I would probably take a motion to approve the first AIN and then deny the second one until it becomes in use.
I move that we approve the first exemption application for AIN 106147 and deny for AIN 143280, Heart of the City Church.
Second.
Commissioner Matari.
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, item 6, exemption application, AIN 135277, and this is the Ashley Foundation. And this one, I did have a couple questions. Is there anybody here representing the Ashley Foundation? Anyone on the telephone? Okay. So this one, I was just curious as to, I'm pretty sure that they indicated all of the funds came from the foundation, but I just wanted to double check that there weren't donations accepted. And is there anyone living on the property, caretaking the property? So I don't know if you,
Now, when you say donations, you mean by the people who are staying there?
not necessarily, because my understanding is they're indigents essentially, or folks who don't have access to this type of lodging. But I was thinking, in general, a lot of the local areas, they host a fundraiser every year, or they just have, a donation box that people can donate. So that was my only
Would
question
the
with this.
would the donations change that a little bit in your mind? Or-
Not necessarily, and I don't think legally it does either.
Well,
But-
if donations or income are used towards the charitable purpose, and let's say there are profits, I'm using quote fingers, but there are profits made, and the profits do not inure to the owners, and they're turned back in to the nonprofit for charitable purposes, then that income is used for a charitable purpose, and it doesn't take the entity out of being a charity.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So just some of the things I like to double check on, but it really didn't talk about if there was somebody on the property or only when it's in use.
Yeah, this was the one that really kind of stood out a little bit too, because it was just unusual as far as its use purpose. It'd be nice if we had them on the phone or something in
Yeah.
person.
In this case, Dave, is this something that we can hear again? I mean, this is a hearing, it's not just a meeting. So if we wanted more information on this one, or this is it, they got their one chance?
Certainly continue it to another time pending asking for further information.
Okay. Are you,
I'm
Yeah.
not sure what the deadline is on approving these.
Is there a
Statutory
deadline, Terry?
but
For the what?
statutory deadline to approve these?
I don't know.
I'm sorry,
We have to have them by the 15th.
Right,
So
correct.
I think it's during BOE.
it is,
Oh.
I think it's before the end of BOE, but don't hold me to that. So I would suggest sooner rather than later if you want to have a follow-up with the Ashley Foundation. I
Okay.
can say that I believe they have other properties that are also already tax exempt, if that matters.
Yeah. I'm fine with continuing it.
Okay, and then what we'll do is we'll put it on a business meeting, and as soon as we can get the questions answered.
Or we have a BOE coming up too, don't we?
We do, we could put it on that one as
Let's
well.
just see if we can get them to, call in.
Okay,
Wednesday?
yeah, I
Or
think
BOE.
Wednesday, it's too late to add it to the
Oh,
agenda.
yeah.
though. Yeah, so next business meeting's fine, and I'm sorry, did you have something to add?
Yeah, I just wanted to remind the board that we are sending our data file out soon, next week, soon. So to get these into our latest build and have them go out that way, it would have to be pretty quick for us to get that turned around. Otherwise, it'll have to be kind of a change to the cadaster, which is a whole technical thing. But,
Okay.
So I just wanted to remind you guys of that.
I mean, could
So-
we do a Thursday meeting or something?
We could, or Tuesday's business meeting, if you knew by Tuesday afternoon, is that soon enough? 1 week from tomorrow?
We send the file on Wednesday, so if we got it
Oh.
the same day, we could probably still do it. But it would be pretty close.
Okay, we can talk about a Thursday, adding it to a Thursday meeting
Yeah.
too. I
I
mean,
mean, 9 a.m. I think is open for us.
yeah, I'd rather do 9:45, but,
Well, we have community development, but
At
it's just
10.
one item, 9:30. Yeah, or 9:45. Either one's
okay.
fine.
All right, so we'll,
They
yes.
do have two other properties. This isn't a new application for them. They have two other properties that they've had ongoing
Okay,
with us.
and they submitted all their forms for this one.
And it's the same use?
Okay, because I know, because one of them was, like, the pictures just showed kind of a place, but this one's down by the water. This one's a waterfront place. Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, it's up to you, because the information that I got showed a different property, but that makes sense if they have several properties that they do this use for.
If we've already approved it and it's the same use, it sounds like it
So I think it's a
qualifies.
third location is
Yeah.
what they're looking at. So is that sufficient then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I move that we approve the exemption application for AIN 135277, the Ashley Foundation.
Second.
Commissioner Matari?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. All right, thank you, folks. Item 7, exemption application AIN 113647, Faith Ministries, DBA Victory City Church. And this one, I did not see anything outstanding. It looked like all of the information plus the department's analysis makes it qualify for the exemption.
Yep. I move that we approve exemption application AIN 113647, Faith Ministries doing business as Victoria City Church.
Second.
Commissioner Matari?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. All right. Item 8, exemption application, AIN 124995, Real Life Ministries, Coeur d'Alene. And same as the last one, I didn't see anything out of the ordinary. It looks like it qualifies for the use.
Yeah, I've seen that particular location. So I move that we approve the exemption application AIN 124995, Real Life Ministries.
Second.
Commissioner Matari?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. All right, item 9, exemption application, AIN 109129, and this is Real Life Ministries in Hayden. And I guess my question is, since it was just purchased on March 5th, is there something that we need to know? Wasn't it supposed to be in use by January 1st? I guess is my question.
No.
No?
As long as the property is used by the deadline.
Oh, by April 15th. Perfect. Okay, good. Good news. That answers that question. So, do you have any questions?
No. I move that we approve the exemption application for AIN 109129, Real Life Ministries in Hayden.
Second.
Commissioner Matari?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. All right, item 10, exemption application, AIN 162187. This is Blessed Sacrament Lutheran Church. And again, my question on this one was just, when the pastor had actually moved in, what date that was. So, did you have any questions on this one?
No, I did not. I move that we approve the exemption application for AIN 162187, Blessed Sacrament Lutheran Church.
Second.
Commissioner Matari?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. All right, item 11, exemption application, AIN 137507, North Idaho College. All right. And, yeah, because this is an education situation and they're going to be using it for storage, then it qualifies.
I move that we approve the exemption application for AIN 137507, North Idaho College.
Second.
Commissioner Matari?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. All right, item 12, exemption application, multiple parcels. This is Kootenai Health, Inc. So if you folks would like to come up to a microphone.
Would you like us here or?
Right here's fine.
So
Yep,
these
you
are
can just have a
microphones.
seat right here.
Good afternoon. I'm Joel Hazel. I'm the Chief Legal Officer at Kootenai Health. Nice to meet both of you. Alexis.
I'm Alexis Rimpaw, one of the facility managers for Kootenai Health.
Okay. And then this just looks like it's from the transformation of a hospital district into the 501c3.
Correct.
Okay,
We were under a different exception as a public hospital district.
right. Questions?
No.
Okay, motion?
I move that we approve the exemption application for multiple parcels with the Kootenai Health, Inc.
Second.
Commissioner Matari?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. All right. Thank you.
No questions?
Nope, no
Thank you.
questions. All right. Yep. Item 13, Developers Infrastructure Exemption, and this is Round Mountain LLC. And do you have any questions on the developers?
Actually, I'd be kind of curious to understand that a little bit more, how that works.
Dyson, you want to take a stab at that?
Just how the site exemption works in general.
Yes.
They apply with us and say that basically they put in the correct infrastructure and they're just holding the lots. We give this exemption to them so that they're not carrying the full taxable burden of those lots as well while they're waiting to sell them. We apply this as a 75% discount for the developers until either a house has been constructed or it has been transferred.
So if a house has been constructed, but it has not been sold and there is no occupant, then it still qualifies?
Yeah, we would go off of the CO issued for the
Okay.
new construction permit at that point. It's a little bit harder because those can be inconsistent depending on where the construction is.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, anything else?
No. I move that we approve the developer's infrastructure exemption for Round Mountain LLC.
Second?
Commissioner Matari?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. All right, Developers Infrastructure Exemption, Lakeshore Estates LLC. Any questions on that one?
Nope.
Okay,
I move that we approve developer's infrastructure exemption, Lakeshore Estates LLC.
second?
Commissioner Matari?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. And item 15, Developers Infrastructure Exemption, Spiker.
No questions. I move that we approve developer's infrastructure exemption, Spiker.
Second?
Commissioner Matari?
Aye.
Chair Duncan?
Aye. All right, item 16, Agricultural Exemption Review, multiple parcels, and this is ag land, 5 contiguous acres or less. And Dyson, did you want to lead us in this one?
Yeah, let me pull it up. Sorry. This one is timber and ag, and it's always a little bit more difficult. Actually, Kendall, this is Kendall. She's one of our business intelligence analysts. I'm going to put you on the spot and have you walk them through the agricultural exemption, if you would.
So Kendall Mallory, business intelligence analyst for the record. So for the agricultural exemption, you guys approve this every year. It's a list of all the parcels, of course, less than 5 acres that are contiguous. We put it under a special designation called AgDec. And it's pretty much just an exemption brought to you by the state. and they have to update annually. I think that's all the information I really have.
And there's qualifications. I mean, even though they're small parcels, they have to have,
Yeah, they
certain-
have to be used for agriculture.
right.
Sure.
And profit, they need to,
I believe they have to demonstrate a proof of income.
okay. All right, any questions on that?
No, no. I move that we approve the agricultural exemption review, multiple parcels, Ag Land 5, contiguous acres or less.
Second.
Commissioner Matari,
Aye.
Chair Duncan.
Aye. All right, with that, I will call for public comment. Somebody joined us by phone? Okay. 2:27, meeting adjourned. Thank you.